Jason doesn't act without reason. Certainly not like that. Which means you must have given him a really good one.
You want to hit me, don't you, Jason? Who doesn't? Take a shot. I dare you. That's what I thought.
Drew's nerve to call Jason's actions unprovoked is truly a masterclass in denial. He knows perfectly well why Jason hit him, but here he is, acting like he's the innocent bystander in all of this. Honestly, the way he's playing the victim is almost impressive. But just wait until Carly gets wind of the truth. She's going to lose it in a way that makes Drew's worst decisions look like a walk in the park. He might actually start wishing he could hit undo on every single one of them. Unprovoked, though, seriously? Drew must be living in some alternate reality. For him to even bring Carly into this, suggesting she's blindly defending Jason, is peak irony, especially since Carly hasn't said a word yet. But when she learns the real reason behind Jason's actions, oh, Drew better start running now. And can we talk about how Drew has the nerve to act shocked that Carly will always back Jason? Hello, the man literally has Jason's memories. He should know better than anyone how deep their loyalty runs. Honestly, Drew brought this all on himself. Michael is his nephew, and yet Drew still went after Michael's wife. Bold move, Drew, but not a smart one. Let's also take a moment to acknowledge that Carly knows Jason wouldn't get physical without a legitimate reason. He's not some loose cannon like Christina. He doesn't lash out for sport. Whatever Jason did, Carly will recognize there's more to the story, and when she does, Drew is toast. The original Drew would never have pulled something like this. I was rewatching those episodes from when Oscar was dying, and that Drew was solid, loyal. The Drew we have now, a complete mess. Betraying Michael like this, total betrayal of character, and you just know Carly will piece it all together. She always does. Also, side note, Rick flinching during that confrontation? Hilarious. You want to act tough, Rick? Stand your ground like a grown-up. Honestly, that moment was comedy gold. And Drew saying, unprovoked, sure, buddy, keep telling yourself that. Carly's going to learn the truth soon enough, and when she does, I'll be here, popcorn in hand, ready to watch Drew's downfall. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. If Drew and Rick think handling Jason is a problem, just wait until Mama Bear Carly gets wind of this mess. Drew, her former boyfriend, and Willow, her son's wife? Oh, the sheer chaos that's about to unfold. Carly isn't the kind of woman you cross, especially when it comes to her family. I'd love to see Willow's reaction when she learns what her oh-so-innocent mama and Uncle Drew have been up to. Popcorn worthy. People keep saying Drew is changing, but let's be real, this is Drew unfiltered, stripped of Jason's memories. The Drew we're seeing now isn't some rewritten version. This is who he's been all along. His history has always been a blank slate, so maybe we're just now meeting the real Drew. And honestly, he's not winning any awards. Now, speaking of people who need to clean up their act, can we address Lucky? The man looks like he wandered off the set of a survivalist show. Remember when he used to be cute? What happened? It's hard to root for someone who looks like they're about to start panhandling on the docks. And the fathers on this show? Don't even get me started. Lucky is barely around for his son, and Drew? His daughter might as well have a cardboard cutout for a dad. GH has a serious dad problem. Can we bring back fathers who actually show up? Looking at you, Finn and Gregory. Then there's Rick, the textbook definition of an ambulance chaser. Drew calling him after the fight? Hilarious. You can't make this stuff up. I would pay good money for Michael to just whip out his phone, shove it in Willow's face, and play the video of Drew's antics. Here's your evidence. Condolences for your poor taste in men. What's truly delicious is that Rick and Drew are clueless about the fact that Jason and Michael are holding all the cards. They know everything. They've got evidence. Meanwhile, Rick is out here practically wetting himself when Jason so much as raises a hand. That flinch was pure comedy gold. Jason, calm and collected, while Rick desperately tries to push his buttons for some flimsy reason to press charges. Spoiler alert, it's not working. This whole situation is shaping up beautifully. Jason and Michael are miles ahead, Rick and Drew are stumbling blind, and Carly? Oh, Carly is about to bring the house down when she finds out. This week just keeps delivering gold. Jason punching Drew, absolute chef's kiss, but Rick flinching like a ghost at the slightest movement of Jason's hand. That's pure comedy. Rick's transformation into a full-on was the cherry on top. Watching him pale like a sheet, so satisfying. And Drew? The audacity on this man is truly something to behold. Strutting around, smug with Carly, like he's not the actual problem here. Does he know who he's dealing with? Carly will eventually find out, and when she does, Drew is going to regret ever crossing her path. If his smugness is this unbearable now, imagine his face when everything unravels. Drew is the walking definition of narcissism. Not only is he tangled up with both Willow and Nina, but he still can't get over Carly. The man's ego knows no bounds. And then he has the gall to criticize Jason for punching him because the children were sleeping upstairs. Oh, so that's where he draws the line. Never mind the fact that he's having an affair with his grieving nephew's wife, all while his own daughter is under the same roof. Classy Drew, real classy. As for Rick's flinching moment, priceless. Jason didn't even touch him, but the sheer panic on Rick's face was everything. It's like he aged a decade in 2 seconds. And Carly? Her response was unexpectedly mature. She actually scolded Jason, yes, scolded Jason, for potentially giving the kids a bad impression. For once, she played the adult in the room, which was refreshing to see. Even though we know she's holding back her fury for when this secret finally explodes. Drew's jealousy of Jason has always been his downfall, and it's why he and Carly never worked. But to speak to her so smugly while carrying on with both Willow and Nina, that's wild even for him. He's becoming more like a Quartermain every day, and not in the good way. This secret's reveal is going to be absolute chaos, and honestly, I can't wait. It's sad though, seeing how far Drew has fallen. He used to be a favorite, someone solid and respectable. Now, he's just a sleazeball, a shadow of the character he once was. The writers have completely wrecked him, and it's hard to root for someone who's this far gone. But let's not forget the looming bombshell. Michael has a video of Drew and Willow. The shock and horror on Drew and Rick's faces when that comes to light will be delicious. It's about time these two cowards get what's coming to them, and I'll be watching with popcorn in hand. The best moment of the day? Rick and Jason's interaction, hands down. Rick smugly quips, "You want to hit me, don't you, Jason?" And Jason, without missing a beat, fires back, "Who doesn't?" Honestly, iconic. Now on to Lucky, sigh. Where do we even start? Lucky, my guy, it's time to grow up. Brush your hair, wash it, maybe even cut it, and for heaven's sake, stop acting like a sulky teenager. You're supposed to be a grown man with a child, not a brooding lost boy. This storyline they've saddled you with is nothing short of a train wreck. Why bother bringing you back just to dismantle your character like this? Honestly, it's exhausting watching Lucky sulk around Port Charles, whining about his woes to anyone within earshot. The writers are dragging him through the mud, and for what? He's gone from a legacy character to an afterthought. The whining, the indecision, it's unbearable. Let's face it, if Lucky left town tomorrow, who would even notice? Okay, maybe Laura. But beyond that, he's been a lousy father, brought nothing substantial to the storyline, and his presence feels more like filler than anything else. The latest misstep? His melodramatic flip-flopping about donating to Lulu. First, he thinks he might help her, then he talks to his son, and now he's spiraling into a pity party about whether he should stay in town. I mean, really? Isn't being a dad reason enough to stick around? It's not like he's oozing utility or value at the moment. And can we stop giving Lucky free passes just because he's like Luke? Laura, sweetie, we need to stop enabling this behavior. If Lucky's going to stay, it should be for the right reasons, not out of guilt or obligation. Fingers crossed that Sonny's intervention, is he offering a job or something, will knock some sense into him. Because seriously, Lucky, it's time to get it together. Is Cameron Matheson's Drew Quartermain leaving General Hospital? Neither Matheson nor the show's producers have confirmed anything, so as of now, this is all just speculation. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Now, let's talk about the chaos brewing between Willow, Michael, and Drew. I get why Grandma might want the kids with her for now, but let's be real, the actual parents should have the final say. Still, if Willow and Michael don't get their act together soon, my money's on Tasha and Michael ending up together. That tension's been simmering for a while now. As for Jason Morgan, some people clearly don't know this character at all. Those shocked by Jason beating up Drew must have missed a lot of history. Let's remember, Jason practically raised Michael when Carly was dealing with postpartum depression. He cared for that baby like his own until Michael turned a year old. Sure, he didn't technically raise him, but that bond is unshakable. Michael is his nephew, his late brother's son, and Jason takes family loyalty to heart. So when Drew crossed the line, sleeping with Michael's wife, of all things, Jason wasn't just angry, he was defending family. Disrespect? Drew didn't just dabble, he dove straight into betrayal territory. And really, who's the better uncle here? The one who got punched or the one throwing the punches to defend his nephew? Drew's recent behavior is giving full Key vibes, throwing money at problems and getting others to clean up his mess. Case in point, asking Rick to go to Jason with some half-baked deal. And let's not ignore Drew trying to sidestep consequences by suggesting Jason stay quiet about his and Willow's involvement. Meanwhile, Carly, in typical no-nonsense fashion, gave Jason a reality check. He needs to focus on Danny's well-being now, especially since Sam is gone. Jason really is all Danny has left. Speaking of Rick, total scum. Honestly, Jason deserved to knock him out without worrying about facing charges. And Elizabeth, still carrying a torch for Lucky. It's clear she's not over him. I'd actually love to see Lucky Spencer stick around, but if he does, he needs to step up, especially for Aiden's sake. Lucy needs to realize that Lucky's family obligations aren't optional. As for Drew, it's hard to ignore how jealous he is of Jason. If Carly knew the full story of why Jason went after Drew, she'd probably rip into both Drew and Willow. Drama, drama, drama. But isn't that why we keep watching? Why is Nina so afraid to tell Willow she's sleeping with Drew? Honestly, if Nina had just come clean from the start, I doubt Willow would have even entertained the idea of being with Drew. Instead, Nina's secrecy just adds another layer of drama to an already messy situation. And let's be real, Drew is still in love with Carly. Did you see how he reacted when she visited him? It was written all over his face. He can't let her go. The jealousy he shows toward Carly's relationship with Jason is painfully obvious. He hates how fiercely Carly defends Jason, and it's eating him alive. Now, for the crowd constantly calling for characters to be written off because they're annoying, can we stop? These actors are just doing their jobs, and like it or not, their roles are integral to the story. Imagine if someone at your job suggested you should be fired simply because they didn't like you. Not fair, right? If a storyline or character irritates you that much, just fast forward the scenes instead of demanding someone's career be cut short. As for Jason beating the hell out of Drew, why is anyone shocked? Drew hurt Michael, and Jason's protective instincts over Michael are unmatched. He has always been willing to go to the ends of the earth for him, even die for him. That kind of loyalty doesn't fade, and Drew crossed a major line. Nina and Drew's relationship, meanwhile, started as nothing more than revenge sex. Now, Nina's continuing it just to keep Drew away from Willow? That's not just sad, it's downright pathetic. And the kicker? Nina's going to feel so foolish when she realizes her efforts were pointless all along. Switching gears, what's the deal with the Brooklyn and Dante rumors? People keep claiming Gio is their son, but when were they ever involved? It doesn't add up. Brooklyn was hired to break up Dante and Lulu years ago, sure, but that's a far cry from them having a secret child together. Feels like some wires are getting crossed in the fandom. Looking ahead, next week's spoilers promise a whirlwind of drama. Danny giving Lucas some harsh truths, Lulu waking up, Sam's funeral, still hard to believe, and Alexis and Rick squaring off. So much chaos in 1 week. It's exactly what keeps us hooked. Being laid up with a knee fracture has given me some time to revisit the good old days of General Hospital. While browsing Amazon Prime, I stumbled upon consecutive episodes from the Dawn of Day storyline, and wow, what a difference! The writing was tighter, the acting stellar, Sam was classic Sam, and the storylines actually drew you in. Remember Eva being married to Ryan? Incredible stuff. It really hit me just how much the show has changed over the years. If you haven't revisited that era, I highly recommend it. But now, back to the present. Let's talk about Drew. What exactly is he doing for Scout? She just lost her mother, and now he's planning to move to DC. What's the plan here? Is he taking Scout with him, uprooting her from the rest of her family, or leaving her behind without either parent? Either way, it's not a great look. Drew just keeps proving himself as one of the most frustrating characters. On the other hand, Drew and Nina could have been an interesting pairing, if only they hadn't let Drew hook up with Willow. That whole debacle ruined any potential they had. Speaking of character choices, Lucky going to Sunny for advice. Since when does Lucky Spencer turn to Sunny for anything? That felt so out of character. And honestly, why is everyone losing their minds over Lucky possibly leaving Port Charles? He hasn't even left yet, and from the looks of it, he might not go at all. Maybe wait until something actually happens before throwing shade. That said, Lucky whining about his lack of purpose is exhausting. Instead of daydreaming about running back to the jungle, how about he focuses on rebuilding his relationship with his son? The selfishness is unbearable. As for Jason and Drew, there's enough blame to go around. But let's not forget how Drew and Willow started this chain of chaos. Lies and betrayal everywhere you look. Still, Jason is easily the character of the week. He's standing up for Michael while others seem more preoccupied with Drew's career ambitions. Jason's loyalty to Michael goes way back to when he raised him as an infant. Michael will always be his firstborn in Jason's heart. Drew deserved every bit of what Cody and Jason gave him. On a lighter note, can we take a moment to appreciate the Quartermaines? They've been the heart of the show lately, arguably for the past few years. Still, I miss the old crew: Sky, Emily, AJ, Justice, and Dylan. The family isn't quite the same without them. Finally, the sneak peek on Hulu sounds intriguing. Maxie talking to Sam's picture in a church, saying how beautiful she looks, and then Lucas walking in to say, "I think she would approve." That sounds like an emotional scene to watch. All in all, GH remains a mix of brilliance and frustration, but the nostalgia for its golden years is hard to shake. Here's hoping for some standout moments in the episodes ahead. Bring back Bill Eckert. I mean, hear me out. Imagine a storyline where Diane becomes his love interest. Maybe his bakery burns down, and she helps him defend against an insurance fraud scheme. That could be interesting, right? But on second thought, I guess we shouldn't burn down Eckert's. Bill's dead after all. I know no one is ever truly dead on a soap, but honestly, there are just some characters who should stay gone. Bill Eckert is one of them. However, I would love to see his son, Sly Eckert, make a return. He could reconnect with his old friend or cousin Lucky, and that could lead to some fun storylines. It would be nice to see Sly back in Port Charles. He'd bring a fresh dynamic to the group. Christina hasn't developed one bit. After all the chaos she's caused, like not listening to Molly and running to Eva, which ultimately led to Irene's death, you'd think she might have learned something. But no, Christina continues to be ridiculously stubborn, thinking everything has to go her way. She believes her feelings are the only valid ones, and anyone who doesn't agree is just wrong. She's completely incapable of thinking about anyone but herself. She says she'd do anything for the people she loves, but not if it requires actually listening to them. And then she's always shocked or hurt when everything she's been warned about inevitably happens. It's honestly migraine-inducing. At this point, I really hope Christina has a moment of clarity where she realizes just how much she's been hurting the people around her, particularly Molly and TJ. She literally begged them to be surrogates right after they lost their first baby, when they were desperate to have a child. And then, just to rub salt in the wound, she practically flaunts that she'll never be able to carry a child herself. Talk about thoughtless. Christina has become the definition of an energy vampire, always draining everyone around her. While I think Kate is a good actress, I have to admit that Christina is an exhausting character. She always needs the focus to be on her, and honestly, I fully expect her to make a scene at Sam's funeral. She can't let an opportunity like that slip by, especially with so many people around to witness the drama. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.